Welcome to our new video with Am I the Asshole stories. Enjoy it and share your opinion. Am I the asshole for not inviting my mom to Christmas dinner after what she did last year? I'm 34 years old and a mom of 2 little kids. Last year, during Christmas dinner, my mom, 65 years, caused a big scene. She showed up with several bottles of wine, even though we all knew she's in treatment for alcohol issues. At first, everything was fine, but halfway through dinner, she started criticizing my husband, 37 years, in front of everyone. She mocked his job and said it wasn't good enough for her daughter. I tried to calm her down, but after a few minutes, she started bad-mouthing me, too, saying I had been a disappointment as a daughter. My kids, who are 7 and 4, were there listening to everything. It was so humiliating we had to ask her to leave. This year, I decided not to invite her to avoid a similar drama, but my sister, 40, is furious with me. She says it's cruel to leave her alone on Christmas and that I should give her another chance. My husband supports my decision, but the rest of my family is making me feel like the villain. Am I the bad one for protecting my family's peace and not inviting her? Am I the asshole for refusing to hang out with my friends because I always end up paying? So here's the deal. I, 28M, live on my own and manage my bills responsibly, but money's been tight lately. My friends, let's call them Sarah, Mike, and Jake, have been asking me to hang out frequently, and I used to go along because, hey, it's fun to unwind with your crew, right? But here's where the issue comes in. Whenever we go out, whether it's dinner, drinks, or something casual, it seems like I'm always the one footing the bill. I don't mind chipping in or covering for someone occasionally, but this has become a pattern. They either forget their wallets, claim they'll Venmo me later, spoiler, they never do, or outright assume I'll take care of it. The last straw was a few weeks ago when we went out for dinner. They invited me, either knowing or not caring that I've been stretched thin financially. We hit up this nice place and they ordered appetizers, drinks, and desserts like it was their last meal. When the bill came, everyone just sat there, awkwardly staring at it. Guess who had to step in? I paid because I didn't want to cause a scene, but I felt pretty resentful afterward. When I gently brought it up later, they brushed it off, saying, "It's no big deal," or that I'm better off financially. Not true. Fast forward to now. They've been asking me to hang out again, and I've been declining. I don't want to keep paying for everything or feel like the bank in the group. I tried explaining how I feel, but they accuse me of being stingy or not wanting to spend time with them. AITAH for saying no and prioritizing my financial boundaries, even if it means distancing myself from them. Am I the asshole for pointing out my brother's double standards on immigration at Thanksgiving? I, 32 years female, have always had a complicated relationship with my older brother, Mark, 35 years male. Growing up, we were close, but as we've aged, our values and perspectives have diverged. I voted against Trump in the recent election because I can't support his stance on immigration and women's rights, among other issues. Mark, however, has been a vocal Trump supporter, frequently sharing his thoughts on social media and in family group chats. Thanksgiving this year turned into a disaster because of this growing political divide. It started innocently enough. My parents hosted, and we were all catching up over appetizers. Then the topic shifted to politics, a dangerous move in any family gathering these days. Mark, who loves to dominate the conversation, began praising Trump's immigration policies, specifically the plans to further tighten border security and make pathways to citizenship even harder. He was going on about how people need to earn their place here and how we can't keep letting in freeloaders. I tried to hold my tongue, but it hit a nerve. You see, Mark's wife, Anna, immigrated from Brazil just 3 years ago. She's still waiting on her citizenship, and her immigration process was far from easy. During that time, she relied on several programs that helped her navigate the legal system and build a life here, programs Trump has either gutted or plans to eliminate. I couldn't let it slide. I asked, "So, you think Anna shouldn't have gotten the opportunity she did, or do you only support immigration when it's convenient for you?" The room went quiet, and Mark gave me a death glare. "That's different," he said through gritted teeth. "Anna came here the right way. We followed the process." I pointed out that the process he was so proud of is being dismantled. If Trump had his way, people like Anna wouldn't even have a shot. How can you support something that would have shut the door on your own wife? He was furious. He started saying how the country can't afford to let everyone in, how Anna's situation is unique, and how I don't understand what's at stake. I pushed back harder, saying, "It sounds like you're pulling the ladder up behind you now that Anna's safe. You're okay with hurting other families who want what you already have?" At that point, Mark completely lost it. He accused me of trying to ruin Thanksgiving and called me naive and too emotional. He and Anna left early, slamming the door on their way out. My parents were mortified and accused me of attacking Mark. They think I should have just let it go for the sake of keeping the peace. But I can't stop thinking about how hypocritical he's being, and it drives me crazy that he refuses to see it. Now, the whole family is divided, with some saying I was right to speak up and others blaming me for the fallout. Am I the asshole for calling out my brother's hypocrisy about immigration policies during Thanksgiving? Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I can't trust her anymore when it comes to her wanting a baby? Firstly, for some context, we have a Planned Parenthood that specializes in abortions like 5 minutes away. I understand people thinking she didn't want to get an abortion because of protesters. I completely understand. I drive by that specific place every single day for work. I have seen no protesters. It's usually empty besides a few cars on the side of the road. But I still understand why she wouldn't want a medical abortion from reading the comments. I asked her why. What was her goal here? She was trying really hard to avoid the conversation and left the room. But I apologize if this makes me an asshole. But I told her, if we can't have a conversation about this, I have to end the relationship. She came back in and said the reason why she did this was because she never felt like her family gave her enough attention in life and didn't feel supported by them. So she wanted to tell them she had a miscarriage so they can feel bad for her. I was confused because she could have just gotten a medical abortion and lied about it instead of just harming her body with a toxic herb. I asked her about that, and she told me she wanted to have the experience of having an actual miscarriage. I was so confused and in shock, so I didn't say much else because all of this just sounded crazy to me. She told me she didn't want me mad at her and she doesn't want to break up, and she was literally begging me to not break up with her. I asked her, "Is there any chance the baby wouldn't have been mine?" She said no. I told her she needs to get therapy ASAP. I thankfully make enough to afford therapy, and I told her I will pay for her if she just please go to therapy. She agreed. I also told her she needs to go to the hospital, and I was telling her all of your comments about the septic that can happen and liver and kidney damage, and that kind of scared her into going to the hospital to get checked out. We went to the hospital last night, and thankfully she is okay. Apparently, she drank around 1 cup of it a day for a few days. I found out she was also taking some other things, high dose of vitamin C, turmeric, parsley. That's pretty much it for now, but I'm not too sure where to go from here. I love her, and I do want to be with her, but all of this is so out of the blue. Thanks for all of the comments on the last post. If anything else happens, I'll make another update.